And now, for your listening pleasure, straight out of Milwaukee, the least talked about podcast in Wisconsin, Hip or Critical, with your guides, Alexa MKE and Shock the Moki MOKE, where we praise or vent, mostly vent, on all things that in the end
just don't matter. But actually, we're gonna be we're gonna be talking about things that do matter again today. But we like to talk about things that don't matter because it's more fun. But
unfortunately, there seems to be a lot of things mattering right now.
Right. Well, we're gonna get to that later. So, what are you watching right now?
Oh, first for me. Okay, and we got a lot to go through, so I know that we're gonna have to do quick today. And artwork today from my daughter Addie. Monkeys was showing off the artwork and back me. It's a tile mosaic around art class thing. So
okay, cool.
Just for the art there.
Nice, nice.
Well, somehow I got on this little. I watched a lot of stuff. You're talking about how you haven't watched very much at all. Keep watching a lot.
So, Dave's got a lot of time on his hands.
This is some old stuff, some bad, and some new. But all of a sudden, I had watched another movie last night, and it had cannibalism in it. And I'm like, oh my gosh! All right, it was called The Bad Batch. It has Jason Momoa, Keanu Reeves, which it took me a minute to recognize him.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu, and then Jim Carrey, which I remember he was going to be in it when I read the credits, and then didn't look for him, and then went back and like, oh yeah, where was he? And I had to look.
That's a bizarro cast.
Great cast for a cannibal music. Suki Waterhouse, I'm telling you, sounds great. If you really have as much time on your hands as I do, then watch it. Otherwise, no. But
is it a B movie?
It was, yes. It was kind of funny. And but then I watched this show, a season, I think maybe even 2 seasons, I think, at it. Or maybe it was just 1, 2, I think. Daybreakers. Matthew Broderick's in it. And there's cannibalism in there. So, and that's a zombie.
We have a theme going here.
That's a zombie. And then I actually had been watching a little bit on and off. I watched the Santa Clara Diet, which is Drew Barrymore and Timothy Olyphant, which I love in Justified. And that's a cannibalistic movie as well. So, I'm just wondering, if you ever want to have a cannibal night, there's some choices for you for binging Cannibal Week if you want. It goes good with Shark Week.
Yeah,
go good with Shark Week, Cannibal Week.
There you go.
Now, a couple of little things just that I did watch as well. Some guy that kills people. Barry Boswick is in there as a Columbo type cop. Great. Just watch it for that alone. And then I checked out Project Power, which is people who can eat a capsule now.
Do I want to watch this, or should I put this on my back burner?
Which one?
The Power Project or Project Power?
I because it's Jamie Foxx and G. Gordon Levitt's in it. I mean, it's got good actors in it. It's not shot B movie wise, so I mean, it's got some good look to it. And I was very interested in what the powers came from when they just talked about where they derived from and things. So I liked the take on it. The movie was well done. It's worth a watch. I'd give it a 3 because I'm not going to go with a 4 or 5 on it.
So that's a Saturday night I got nothing to do movie.
Yeah, it's worth your time. It's a fun movie. I mean, you always wonder if you had 5 minutes of power, what would you do with it? And what kind of power would it be? That's so.
So the only thing I watched was Eco Challenge on Amazon Prime. It's called The World's Toughest Race. Did you see that?
Oh no, I saw the blurb for it. Yes, I did see a blurb for it.
Okay, so basically what this is they had 66 teams this year. They haven't run it for 17 years. We used to watch it way back when it was on USA Channel. Mark Burnett, the same producer for Survivor, produced it back then. He's producing it again now. You got Bear Grylls as the host. He did an awesome job. But if you like adventure stuff, even if you don't like doing it, if you like watching it, they do like ocean. They had an outrigger that they took out in the ocean. They had some stand-up paddle boards. They had to mountain bike through mud. They're slogging through rivers, and it's amazing. And so
good scenery along the way too.
Good scenery, and if you really like watching things with teams that push themselves and the power of people, there are some areas where you're gonna cry because they have some very touching human interest stories. But it was really awesome, and they did a great job. So I hope they keep bringing that back. And they did it in Fiji, so it's kind of the same location as Survivor. So
sure,
yeah,
same time.
yep. So you did some live music, or
yes, a little bit. I did. We've been 2 weekends away. First weekend, Greendale Lions picnic. I went down there, snoop around. Again, people were giving out masks. Actually, the guy, somebody was giving out masks and everything, and I kind of made the joke where I pulled out my wallet and I opened it up and I showed him where I keep my extra mask. He says, "Well, here, grab one for an extra one." And I showed him my wallet. I said, "I got an extra one in here." I said, "We used to keep prophylactics in here for safety. Now we keep face masks in here."
You just got bubble sounds, just so you know, because I was queuing up the bubble sound that I didn't have queued up before. So.
I'm not doing that again.
No. It's just over what you said. Don't hear it.
So anyway, then they had the little two guys called the acoustic, so they were acoustic, of course.
That's cool.
Kind of got into them during a Styx medley, which was fun.
That's awesome.
Then this last weekend, went to the Waukesha Farmers Market, snooped around there a little bit. Again, I'd say 75% of people had masks, 50% wearing, but everybody that was a vendor seemed to. That's great. I actually stopped in the Democratic Party HQ headquarters.
Ooh.
The HQ,
HQ.
As I posted that on Facebook, a guy said, "Yeah, it looks crowded there." I was the only one, of course, But did you want to volunteer and help? I said, "Give me 30 days. If things keep going the way, I might help." Yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, some crazy stuff.
And then the second part of the live music that I've got is kind of a heyday back to my old days. You remember the show WKRP in Cincinnati, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, a local band that was from my day, Bad Boy, was Milwaukee's own, T.A. Vern's favorite. I'm sure Rooters had him at one time.
Probably. We're old, everybody. We're old.
But anyway, so the guy's name is Steve Grimm, that was part of the band Bad Boys, and one of his albums was actually on WKRP called Back to Back. Well, he's in his own little band now, the Grimm Brothers. It's really only him and whoever he can get to play along with him. But I went down and found one of his vinyls in an exclusive company.
Oh my God, that's a blast from the past.
Yeah, it's and it was like I looked in the regular bins and looking for under Steve Grimm. There was incoming albums. Chrissy, my girlfriend, was looking through them. She goes, "Hey!" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" So we got it before it went into the general circulation. So I went down and I had Mr. Grimm sign it to me, Mo. Thanks, Mo. So Steve Grimm was one of the guys that's been here.
Nice.
From real vinyl. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. The only other thing we did, we hiked out to Boulangerie du Monde, which is basically a bread store in Cedarburg, and we bought way too much bread last weekend. Not this last weekend, but the weekend before. So my husband loves bread, so I got a croissant. Even though I'm allergic to dairy, they don't seem to affect me if I just have one. So I got a croissant. I got some awesome bread that was walnuts and raisins, and that made great vegan French toast. And then my husband got two. They're called pain d'épices, which is basically it's like French bread that's made into these little leafy things all put together. He got two of those, and he got a mini baguette, and then we got these awesome Kalamata ciabattas. But it's that was way too much bread for two people.
Now, do you freeze bread?
No, this no. You can't freeze. No, this is delicious. You got to eat it right away. So it's I had bread overload by Sunday morning. We picked it up Saturday morning, and Roger just ate it all week. So I highly recommend Boulangerie du Monde in Cedarburg. They are open, but you can also call ahead and order what you want. They have their menu online on Facebook. So look them up.
Say that again now. Say it again correctly.
Boulangerie du Monde.
Boulangerie du monde.
Du monde. It means bread of the world. So, so there you go. But actually, it's a French bakery. So yeah. So I'm gonna do the bubbles. Hang on. All right. Internet adventures. So we have a lot to go through. So we're gonna bang through this stuff pretty quick. You still use Internet Explorer?
I haven't switched yet.
Ah,
Firefox yet. Yeah, I know.
okay, do your Firefox. They are.
I'm still doing Chrome. Yes.
Chrome's okay. It's it's a reasonable browser. It's just it's a Google product, and I prefer open source. So Mozilla does Firefox. So for all of those of you who are still in the Stone Age and using Internet Explorer, as of August 17th, 2021, about a year from now, they are going to no longer support it, which means that it will become a security flaw because they won't be patching it and updating it. So I highly suggest you go over to mozilla.org and download Firefox and start using it ASAP.
Every once in a while, you accidentally click on Internet Explorer and it pops up. You're like, what the? No, get out of here. Get out of here.
I don't even accidentally. They always say, do you want to pin this to the taskbar? It's like, hell no.
Back in the day when there were search engines where everybody, there was one that a guy turned me on to, which, is a search engine that found search engines almost. It was called Dogpile. So you would go to Dogpile.
I remember that.
Yeah, you'd put in what you wanted, and then all the other different sources gave you their best match with what you were looking for. So you'd see Google, you'd see Yahoo, you'd see, AOL's, whatever. Everybody's different what they considered was the right article for you.
I remember when you would search and they didn't have an algorithm telling you what you wanted to see.
And then you're like, I was working between Yahoo because it made you, every computer had it, and then we're going to finally discovering Google. And I mean, the day I discovered Google and never went back, I look at people over the shoulder and they're using something else. I'm like, don't stop that right now. Go to Google. Go to Yahoo.
Google
don't
foo.
do anybody else.
You have to have your Google foo.
Yeah. Sorry, they were the best from the beginning at knowing what you want and finding it. So
they used to be the best. Now they're kind of they get their little fingers in everybody's pie, and it's not always
only to help us.
Yes, we will help you. Please allow us to help you by collecting your data and then feeding it to somebody else.
So they can help you, let you know. They're going to tell you you're out of butter before you even know it.
No, that's your refrigerator that's hooked up to Google.
That's true. Yeah. All right. So Shazam. Do you Shazam?
I don't Shazam, but I watch the show. So when I saw this in the show notes, I thought you were talking about the show or the movie.
No, it's just a fun show. It's just name that tune.
Yeah. What is it? Yeah, with Jamie Foxx. Yeah.
Right. And he's a great host and everything like that. So that's a good show. It's a lot of fun. Now, what Shazam actually for me was just a godsend when it started, because whenever you heard a song, you just hit this button and it would tell you who did it.
I remember you using it back when we were working together in the office.
Right. And then I could take it back and I could find a stream somewhere, someone who copies the MP3 off of YouTube, and that's how I build my iTunes collection. Even though I still use iPods, so that's
wow. Dave's in the Stone Age. I told you.
It's it's my 10,000. I'm still almost at 11,000 songs now. So on there. So anyway, you hit Shazam and it'll tell you how many Shazams it is. All right. Well, the other day I hit one and it was number 1. It said number 1 on it. So I'm just thinking to myself, is my music that whacked? Did my taste that whacked? Or but then I also have to remember it's my generation. All right, there's another song that came on Wicked Games from Para for Cuba, which I don't even know. I've never heard it before. It's a remake of that song.
Yeah, that's Chris Isaac cover.
Right. Never had heard it before. I thought, this is an interesting one, and I hit the button. 3.8 million. Okay.
Yeah, Wicked Game is an awesome song.
Yeah, well, this is the cover of it, So and then I even look back at someone that I normally have been around for a long time, Papa Roach, with, cut my life into pieces, that song. Everybody knows
Dave
that.
can't sing.
I can't. No, I know. That's why I love music so much. That's why I'm a behind the scenes guy. All right. So that song has only got 2.5 million. So I'm like, that song's been around a hell of a lot longer. And to know that only so many people Shazam, and a song's got 3.8 million people that actually Shazammed, it means it's a very popular song.
Well, and there's also bots. So who knows? There might be some bots doing their thing.
But now the one question I had now, when I see number one, when it hits me and sees number one, I think I just cheated myself. Should I really think of seeing 0 and then I know I'm number one because the next guy is going to see a number one, or should it have seen me number one that I was actually the first?
You're not the first one.
You think I'd be the second, right? Because the first guy sees a 0 going, oh, I'm the first one, right? Not like number one. So I was number 2, wasn't I?
You were probably somewhere in there.
That's the way it ends up. I always end up number 2,
Number two. Number
2 down the toilet again.
No, it was number 9. Number 9. Number 9.
Nobody gets that joke anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
nobody. Only us. Because we're old, like I said.
All right. So now let's move on to the critical things in our life right now.
This is this critical.
No, with the lighter side of our show.
Oh, geez. Yeah, no, we got a lot going on. So today, this afternoon, Governor Evers declared a state of emergency. You might say, why? Another COVID thing? No, it's a state of emergency because after the Jacob Blake shooting, he was shot 7 times in the back by a police officer. He is going to be paralyzed. He severed his spine and shattered a vertebrae. So this officer basically has ruined this guy's life. He's probably ruined his own life because his family is going to be devastated. But there's been riots and fires in Madison and Kenosha and protests pretty much everywhere. So that activates the National Guard to be able to assist law enforcement in protecting assets and making sure things don't go, belly up. So not cool.
Yeah. Again, the fire and looting and everything. It's hard to hear the message through all that and burning dump trucks. It's hard to hear the message.
It's definitely hard to hear the message, but
I understand the frustration. It's just that while we're working on this, it happens again. And in my backyard, in our backyard, and I thought there were some great responses by Aaron Rodgers had something really nice that he threw on, and the Bucks players came out and said some nice things, and trying to heal the community again back in, and boy, I mean it's tough to these cops for 3 years they've had body cams on the docket. For 3 years they've said okay, and they just didn't find the right time or the right way to go and get it done yet. That's BS. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I agree.
When you've all said 3, now you want to combat against other people filming you, and that doesn't tell the whole story. Well, then you have your own fucking camera. That's what you do. You have your own. Okay. This right now, this is all I get to see, and this is what I get to run with.
Well, and let's face it. You have an unarmed man, and I don't care whether I don't care if he had.
See, but we get said he had a knife.
We don't know because we didn't see it, but
it's just something you just hear. He's got a knife.
But you know what? You don't bring a knife to a gunfight. And the fact is, I don't care what was going on. You don't shoot somebody in the back. I don't once, 7 times, any times. You just don't do it.
Not complying is not a death sentence. Shouldn't be a death sentence. Not complying should not be a death sentence.
No, it shouldn't be. Or now you're physically disabled for the rest of your life. This is going to cost the state and the city of Kenosha and the county so much money because we have foolishness going on. And like I said, it's just, with. I guess, with the state of everything that's going on, here we got Wisconsin back in the spotlight again, not for something positive, but for something negative. Yeah. And it's irritating.
For the national news, fire's raging, that's great,
Yep.
Well, good thing we don't have to worry about tourism right now. And
Yeah, no DNC. That was a fizzle.
Jeez.
That was such a fizzle. And we got Biden and Harris. We got that going for us. But
You know, we
we got no
lost
money.
he lost the state because she didn't come here and take us for serious. She thought she had us locked up. Biden, I don't care. He should have just taken a plane to Wausau, stepped off it, waved to a bunch of people, got back on and left off. At minimum, he should have visited
Something.
the state.
He should have visited Milwaukee, shook hands with masks with Barrett. Had his little.
Not even that. If you'd have just gone into some little town, just that the Secret Service could have took over in a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could have descended on, little Wausau town or Stevens Point, or you know what I mean, and then just so that he could have met people in the bar there or something like that. That we shouldn't have been in a bar, but he would have been able to meet somebody.
Could have gone to a dairy.
As much as he doesn't think he ignored us, we're going to feel ignored again, and that's a bad thing in Wisconsin.
Well, I hope it's not. Well, we have one positive that came out of the week was that we have no Kanye.
No Kanye.
So apparently, no later than 5 o'clock is actually not later than 5 o'clock. 5:01, 5 o'clock and 14 seconds.
1 second past. Hey, 1 second past midnight is the next day.
Yes.
Not the same part of the last day.
Yeah.
So 11:49:59. There's only one more second for you to get in. That's the way it works. And
on the election commission, only Robert Spindell, a Milwaukee Republican, favored putting the rapper turned politician on the ballot. And we know he wasn't a politician. He's just looking to split votes. So he was appointed by State Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald. Okay, I will say it. I've said it online. Fuck Scott Fitzgerald. Fuck Robin Voss. Those guys aren't doing anything for this
on
state.
This one. We got some language going. Well, we do part, but not for kids already. So.
Yeah, we do not for kids. So yeah. Oh my goodness. All right.
But yeah, that stops them at least from having to go through all the signatures and kicking him out that way and spending all that time.
What, you don't think Bernie Sanders and Mickey Mouse signed it? I thought we went over this last time. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, have you heard that we're supposed to get more COVID money or what's going on here? I haven't heard anything on this.
Hey, no, it was 4 weeks ago when they said we should have something by Monday.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, this is great. So yeah, we don't have any COVID money coming. However, the president did sign an executive order, $44 billion through FEMA. States have to apply for it, and it's to help people who were. I don't know how they're going to do this. I read the website and I was just like, well, the state has to apply for it before you get it, and then you go, and then you have to. It's like, it sounds like it's a whole lot of hoops to jump through if you want any of this money. So, silliness. So yeah. So what do you think about the Bucks? They're doing really well.
Yeah, boy, when you see them lose that first game, and the Brewers were going down the hill against the worst team, and the Bucks are going down against the ever worst team. You're like, oh my gosh, here we go. But look the Bucks have really kind of sucked through this whole bubble. They have really sucked through this bubble. They have not played consistently through the bubble. Now they. Well,
yeah, we got our thunder stolen there too.
Yeah. But and then watching the Brewers, there's so few games, and to go against the Cubs and take 3 or 4 and then go to the worst team and lose them, the Pirates. It's like, where are you going here, guys? Did you hear that stat? And I think it's probably even worse now. But we were in the first 2 innings, because I was thinking it was the 4 innings, but against on the Brewers, we were outscored 34-3 or something, or 5 or something like that.
Holy crap! Oh my God!
I know, it's like 34-3. Yeah, it's hard to win a game, when you're already down on the gun like that,
Oh geez, yeah.
But
yeah,
hey,
sure.
The bubble's working good for them as far as the COVID thing, and we did get held to baseball. Looked like that was going to crash, and they're still limping along. So
yeah,
but football isn't. Schools are not.
Well, yes, this is a great one I read today. University of Alabama has been open for a week. Guess how many COVID cases they have? None. No, I'm kidding. They have over 500 cases at the University of Alabama in the first 6 days. And they're going to open up UW just about the same. What do you think?
Maybe you're going to the same place that the Bucks were the false positives were going. Maybe they've been sending them all to the same lab, and it's not true.
I don't know if you've been seeing pictures. I've been seeing the pictures from Madison, the ones from last weekend. They're partying on rooftops. It's like, and there's no masks, no distancing.
Herding cats. Herding cats.
Yep, it is going to be herding cats. We've talked about that before. All right, so you got some things you want to talk about with Blazing Saddles. What do you got? Gone with the Wind.
Quick, we're on hypocritical. Is it hip to do this? Is it critical to do this? I guess I'm always wrong when I think it's critical. I'm going to be wishing I had said it was hip later. But, you know, this is one of those things where once you started hearing like Gone with the Wind was getting a disclaimer on this is, you know, a movie of the times and everything like that. And I can appreciate that. But now they have to do that with Blazing Saddles as well. And against the, you know, it's a little nip of that cancel culture part. But again, I guess I'm like, I have no problem, you know, with them trying to say that there may be some offensive things in this movie. I mean, I guess that's just another disclaimer that they're just throwing at us. Watch at your own risk. You know.
Yeah, well, you know, and you talk about that, and it's like, you know, you go back to like, you know, Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor and things like that, and some of the things they even said like back in the day. It was
well,
like,
you know, and I was thinking Trading Places. Dan Aykroyd actually wore blackface because weren't they brothers on the train or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, well, you know, we were talking about blackface, and you know, and I was talking about that with somebody else again. I said, well, all these people used it around me my whole life for comedy. I'm sorry that I didn't know what it was about. I didn't. You know, I was one of those guys that just thought it was funny like everybody else.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, we've got people. I hate this word, getting woke, but that's what's happening. And like you said, now there's going to be a cancel culture, you know, involved with that. But you know, it's different times and actually hopefully much more progressive times. So let's look forward to a progressive, better future.
As long as you realize it, as long as you can get the light bulb to come on and, you know, and try to move towards bettering yourself. That's all we're trying to do.
Yes.
Move the needle a little bit.
I agree, because people can. You don't have to be the same person. You can.
You can go laterally or you can go longitudinally, and let's go longitudinally.
And some people can just go down the toilet.
Oh, we're back to number 2 again.
There you go. we're always circling back around.
I have to throw this in just quick. My Pillow guy and Anderson Cooper going at it over this oleandrin, which is a toxic thing, you know, because oh my God, and all he kept on saying is Anderson was
okay. You have to explain this to me because I have not seen this. What is going on here?
The guy from My Pillow, you know, the mustache, the guy with the mustache,
yeah, okay.
My Pillow, right? He was on Anderson Cooper because he's pushing an oleandrin derivative as a COVID cure. You know, I guess.
Oh,
it was given to 1,000 people. We talked to the president about it, and he's like, "Well, where's the trials on it? Where's the paper on it?" And he goes, "Well, Ben Carson knows about it." You know, and he kept on going, Ben Carson. And I'm like, okay, first of all, this really sucks. And I did look it up. Ben Carson did bring him in a meeting with the president about this stuff, and I'm just like, my gosh. Who wanted to talk to who more? Did the president want to meet the My Pillow guy, or did the My Pillow guy want to meet the president? That you have the My Pillow guy in the White House talking COVID with Ben Carson.
Maybe he wanted him as a sponsor when they do The Apprentice after, you know, from jail after this presidency's over.
Yes, yeah, and he is a big backer. But it's again, of course, he has money in the company, and I did look up what they have. They've had some. They've done some cultures in test tubes. That's the most they've done with this thing so far. All right. Oh my gosh. And that's what I'm saying. But these guys are getting let loose in the White House with Ben Carson, the guy who's the head of the COVID response.
Oh
whatever.
my goodness. This is silliness. I mean, it's like such silliness. See, I'm glad I didn't see that little news bit because it probably would have pissed me off.
It's just hilarious. All right. We're talking about this thing and trying to shut this down. And again, our future president saying that if the science provided it, Biden would shut it down. And so here are some people. Let's go through a few people that had some problems. keeping up with the mask mandate.
Oh, are we talking about the people who had warnings given to them?
Well, first of all, you all knew about it. I mean, who doesn't know about it? If you're part of a restaurant, you're looking to know about it. You should be actively knowing about it.
Well, and not only that, if you're a restaurant, you are bound by state law under health department guidelines to do XYZ. I have a certification through the state for the health and safety thing. They give you a certificate. You have to go through a little school, and it tells you all about.
I've seen one of those A-rating things. Yeah.
No. I'm not talking about A-rating. I'm talking people who work their own a restaurant have to go through certain schooling so that you know when to refrigerate things, how things should be handled, how to wash your hands, how to sanitize surfaces. So yeah, there's guidance on that.
Right. So Fiesta Cafe decided that they were just going to buck the trend and see what happens, and they got citations. I think it was 3. Is that what I said? 3 times and $500.
Shock Pikachu face.
Just like what? I can just say. What?
Yeah.
What are we good? Again, that's just like, what do you mean? You're really gonna do this? Well, you know what? Someone had to take the first shot at really trying to stand up for it. And you did. Now these are other people. We're given warnings.
Okay, so, Dave's gonna list now. So Dave is listing.
Sure, Fresh Market, Fast and Freddy on Locust, PP Gas Station, Penn's Marco Sick Park, JJ Fish and Chicken on Apple Dam, Popeyes, Joe Cat's Pub on East Brady Street. 4 businesses listed as Ace Market Center, Sherman, Jay's Food, Gold Diggers. Is that a strip joint?
I don't know. Gold Diggers, never.
Milwaukee Pedal Tavern. That's the outside thing when you're pedaling in it. How? Come on. There's only like 8 people on that. You couldn't wear a mask on that thing?
No.
You're outside already. Sunrise Foods, BP Gas Station, McDonald's.
And the USPS on Holton Avenue.
Oh, my gosh. So, again, people, I think it's up to us. Again, please, don't go there. Maybe it's not okay to go tell them they should be putting a mask on, but there are other places, different JJ Fishes, different gas station. Just use your money to show that you're concerned about the other people in the state. All right?
Yes. Yeah. And I'm going to say it again. I wear a mask all day at work. I have to put it on before I get in the building. I have to take it off after I leave the building. I usually don't take it off until after I get in my car, which means that for more than 8 hours a day, I am in a mask except for when I'm on break or lunch and eating. So wear your frickin' mask.
I made some face underwear tie-dye. And I call it face underwear because they look, these little cloth white ones with the hooks, look like they're a diaper of some sort.
And you know what? If you're wearing it like this, fine. But if you're wearing it like this, that means its dick's out. You know that, right?
Right. And it's pissing on everybody. But so we tie-dyed some of the white ones just to give us some personalization. And people are doing a lot with the personalization now. Little hooks and ties. I want to get some garters.
There you go. I've got some that I blinged up. So.
But see, I like the handkerchief because I can pull it down. It's still around my neck. The ear masks, you can't just hang it by one. And if you're Van Gogh, that's all you can do. But if you hang it by one, so you have to take it on or off or pull it down. I want a garter straps, those little sock garter things or whatever.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like the sexy garters.
Yeah, that's another way to personalize it.
Well, we'll get some lacy, sexy garters. They are elastic. That'll look really ooh la la, Dave.
But I think that I could do the ear things along the back there, right? And then you could pull it down and put it up. Wouldn't that be a good little invention?
You know what? Why not? I mean, whatever works.
I'll have to stop at the naughty store and see if I can just pick up some regular ones.
There you go. So, Dave,
other ones.
Are you going to tell me what your rant is about?
Sure. Okay.
Wait. We got to do the
You got bubbles or something again?
We have to do the bubbles. Why do we have to do the bubbles? It's a MOKE moment. That's why we have to do bubbles.
Okay, now I have to admit that I stole a little bit of this one. The radio guys, Mitch and Borna and Mandy, were doing this on the Laser Hog.
Okay, so are you admitting to plagiarism?
Oh yeah, well yes.
Okay.
All right, but hey, a copy laughing is the most sincere form of flattery, right? Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, right?
Sure, we'll go with
Yeah.
that.
All right. Well, but the reason I'm bringing it up is because I didn't get to hear them talk about it. They teased it, and this is what they were going to talk about, and then I was already in the car and out of the car and in the house. So, but I wanted to be a part of this. So, like for you, let's start there. Lido's litter box. Do you and Roger take turns? You just do it? Is it
We
something
take
like?
turns. In fact, it's my turn tonight. So.
All right, all right. So you got now. Do you find that there's most things in the household that you guys take turns on, and there's always some things that he'll never do that, and I never do this, right?
Well, I
mean,
did some things for decades, so now he does them, like dishes.
and then you also know to do something really bad so that they don't make you do it again too. That's a yeah. It's
No,
always
no,
a
no.
good-
See, Raj tried that. He's like, "Oh, I don't know how to do the dishes. You should do them." And I'm like, "Well, if you do them more often than once, you will learn." See, I'm not a silly girl. I'm a smart
Oh,
girl.
someone needs to teach you, is what you're saying. Yeah. Hey, give a man a fish for a day. He eats for a day. Teach a man to fish. He eats for a lifetime.
There
right?
you go. Exactly, exactly.
So they just kind of went into like, what are things that like, is there something that nobody likes to clean? And I clean apartments after I flip them, so I know where people don't clean. No one pulls out the fridge. No one pulls out the stove. There's always the crinkling. There's always the crinkle stuff underneath the lettuce, the crisper drawers in the bottom. That if you have to pull the bottom. Yeah. See now there you go. You do. See now there's certain. But then at the same time, I know that like if you're in the shower, I usually the one who digs out the dirt, the hair out of the little strainer thing.
You know what? They make stuff so that it doesn't go down the drain.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. But you've got the right. But I mean, you've got a little catcher there that you want to keep clean, so you don't have to worry about it. But they're like, so what are some things that nobody did cleans it? Oh man, when I got to do the blades on the
stoves.
The stoves, yeah. Well, they got self-cleaning now. I mean, that's 4 hours of smell, and that takes care of that.
Not mine. I gotta grab
fan.
that stupid easy off and do that.
Yeah. The ceiling fans, getting the blades clean of all the dust that's on them and all. Oh my gosh.
Top tip: if you clean your blades once every 2 to 3 months, they don't get that dirty. Also, top tip: if you're vegan and you don't eat meat and you don't get splatter all over the place, the grease doesn't get on top of there and the dust doesn't stick, and so you can just wipe it off.
I'm a guy who leaves the fan on the whole time. The first time it got shut off is when I was moving out of one of my apartments. It was the first time it ever got shut off when I went to clean it. There was this much dust on the blades that it just, because it keeps going around. One piece hits it, another piece, another piece, another piece. It was, the blades were actually wider than they should have been at that point.
Oh my God. How do you even move the air? It was probably just getting stuck in the dust.
So, but one of the things that I was laughing about is that people clean is the soap dish. That was mine. If I would have called in, the soap dish, the dish that the soap. No one ever just grabs the whole dish, cleans the thing back. It's always got all the little old soap in the.
See,
corner.
Roger does the tub and he cleans the soap dish too.
So all right. So that's part of the part. He gets that part of the deal. But sometimes someone has a little tray next to the sink, or something, a little tray that it sits in. That just seems to never get done. It's like nobody washes the wash. It's like
Okay, so all of this ickiness. What's your rant?
Oh no, that's just it. Because I clean it. That my rant is that people clean this stuff. Pull out your refrigerators, please, for stoves. I'm just saying that's my.
Dave's coming to your house to clean, so make sure you clean first before Dave gets there.
Right, you're supposed to, but it's like you just go into some places and you just can't believe how like the cobwebs in a corner.
You see restaurants like that too. I mean remember Chi-Chi's way back in the day.
Oh yeah.
They had great food. And it's like, so we used to go to the one on Blue Mound.
Right.
And so we'd go to Chi-Chi's and it's like, okay. And then one time we went to Chi-Chi's and we weren't seated like in the middle. We were seated on the edge and we're like looking up at the sombreros and all the crap that's on the walls. And there was dust this thick. And I looked at Roger and I said, we're never coming back here again. because it's gross. I'm not going to eat somewhere where there's like dust falling onto my food. Clean your damn tchotchkes that are on your wall
The
already.
funny part was always Conejito's. Oh, you mean the place with the dead plants?
Oh,
Yeah, because
jeez,
they're
yeah.
hanging up there. Those plants were dead forever in these pots. They just sat up there, never
Yeah.
moved.
Yeah. Are they still even in business?
What, Coney? Hell yeah!
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know with the Corona closings who's still in
No, yeah,
business.
I think we got some pickup from there, and I think they have some. I can't remember if they had it open dine in. They might have because they have three sections there.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah, I didn't know if
They
they
have
were still open because
the
so
old
many things have
part,
closed.
with the stool with the little stools, circular stools. The second part they opened up, which is kind of the nicer, and then the third is kind of like the around the past the bathrooms, and it's more like the hall, like if you're going to rent the place out. But they eat there too.
So there you go. All right. Well, that's going to
So
bring
that's
us
well,
to.
my rant was just kind of like it's a rant about cleaning, and because I have to do it now, and I
I'm
don't like
bubbling
cleaning.
over, Dave.
I don't like cleaning. See, that's the rant is that when I get a job, and I give you my resume, I'm not going to put cleaning on there. Now I know I'm a handyman, and they always give you that. Well, you're kind of going to do what we tell you to do, right? And it's the old. And when someone looks at you about cleaning, they go, "Well, it's not rocket
See,
science."
Dave's
No,
ranting now.
no, because if it was rocket science, I could get a formula and I could figure it out. But it's cleaning, it's windows, it's going in back and forth 4 times because there's one little streak wipe that you got to get back out there for that you forgot. I mean, it's just like no. So yes, there's the little rant at the moment.
All right. So since Dave ranted over my segue, here's hip happenings again. So we were talking about restaurants. You have down here something that TripAdvisor was talking about the restaurants closing.
Right. It just, we had been talking about how some of them are going under and can't float if this goes on for another month. And, we keep hearing that. They actually said they had a prediction with what they were talking about was that 60% of the restaurants that are closed will never reopen.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
That's big. I mean,
It's scary.
50%, 50, but you're at 60. It's only 40% of restaurants are going to make it through this, they're saying. And that's a big hole. That's a big hole.
It's a huge hole, and the thing is Milwaukee is very lucky. We do have tons of small family owned, small business owned restaurants. And so, I'm hoping we don't get hit that hard, but I am worried. You see some of these closings
But
that these places
but
may not be opening back
here
up.
we are again. Here we are again thinking, maybe this is a survival of the fittest kind of thing in these businesses too. Did you adapt for the COVID? Do you have the pickups? Are you a good online presence? If half of these 60% didn't do any of those things, didn't try to change their game, well then they need to go away. And then the person who's going to buy that space is going to come in there knowing what they're up against right off the bat.
Not necessarily, and the thing is some of these spaces are fairly expensive for rent. Their overhead, especially if they're in an older building, heat and
But that's going to
and
change too,
electricity.
with all those empties and everything like that.
It's
That
hard to say. Real estate is fickle. I mean, it really is.
people are moving back out to the suburbs. Renters, they're hard to rent in towns in the cities now. They said people are fleeing again.
Oh no, I tell you, rents are going up. But and I'll every now and then look at commercial spaces because I always have my retirement in the back of my head, and I keep looking at these little things and what's available. But rent's expensive, overhead's expensive. Electricity, you have to have insurance, you need to have your internet hookups, you need to have phone lines, especially if you're a restaurant, you're going to want a landline. You're going to want your internet presence, talking about websites and maintenance of that. If you have online merchandising, whether it's, an app or whatever you're purchasing. For instance, yoga studios use something called Mind Body Online. A lot of fitness places do. There's a cost attached to all of that. So if you can't afford to keep that up and running and you're going backwards, the best thing to do is close the doors, and that's unfortunate. But I think it'll all come back eventually, but it could take, 5, 10, 15 years, which is, kind of a
But
shame.
that's a real waterfall of unemployment. You think about it that way. You've
Absolutely.
got the people that were in that business unemployed, the people who own the business unemployed. So now they're looking for a job.
See, this is almost like is this critical because it's not a hip happening. Although under hip happenings, we are talking about closings. So, just so people know, we're not trying to say that this is hip. We're trying to say, this is something that we're not able to talk about openings because there's so many closings, and that's a shame.
But
So,
I've seen some beer gardens open now. They're still trying to do that, the parks and everything like that. And, a place where there was a skate park where they had a skateboard and they dumped sand in there. They took the sand away. So where do you think all the kids
oh yeah,
were?
yeah, yeah. So, one of the cool things that's happening, I won't be going because I'm high risk, but movie theaters are opening. We're gonna have a bunch of movies opening up. I know that Marcus Theaters is opening up. They're
And
doing.
I went, what am I dying to see that they can open up? I don't even know what movies were out.
Well, I know I've seen Tenet is coming out. That's the weird one that by the people who did Inception and people who've seen the thing and said, I gotta go there high because I'm not gonna understand what I'm seeing
What
anyway.
what 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 movie is that?
Tenet, Tenet.
Oh, tenant. Okay, like
Yeah,
an apartment tenant. Gotcha.
yeah. Well, no, not no Tenet, but yeah, it's about being in. It's a time travel weirdness thing, but
Oh,
watch the trailer. But that's opening, and there was like a Russell Crowe movie that dropped, so they're
right.
doing
Yeah,
that, and so
yeah.
you can go to the movie theater if you feel comfortable. I'm not comfortable going to the movie theater. I don't know who really is going to be. We're going to see what happens, but they are opening up, for people who are interested. Anything else that you saw that was interesting that is coming open?
No, 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 no. Again, just I guess like anything, I just watch Facebook and keep seeing. I mean, Saluna and Calhoun is still they've been a big one for music. They're continually doing something. They actually during the state fair they did 10 days of music. Because you couldn't go to the state fair.
Right, right.
So you're seeing a lot of more of these little concerts popping up, little shows. But always outdoor.
So
Um,
they're usually on Facebook, and they're usually like probably promoted more through social media than they are through any other traditional
yeah,
means.
yeah. So and then like I said, I like that the estate sales are open, but again, then there's some estate sale people that have warehouses, and they have not really opened up their warehouses again. I keep
That's
seeing things from them
interesting.
that they've got like 10 houses because people are still dying, and they but they don't want to have
That's
they
true.
I mean, and and they always had that thing where they only have so many people in there as it is, at a time. But they're trying to figure it out the right way to do it too,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, a lot of these places having problems that way. So
That's interesting. Yeah, I know. So I have a new segment we're calling Words of Wisdom. The bubbles are just so funny over that. So anyway, I was having a really crappy day at work last week, like a really crappy day, and so I was, kind of unloading on one of my coworkers, and she comes back to me a little bit later in the day, and she looks at me and she goes, "Don't let the devil steal your happiness," which I thought was amazing because it's like if you think about it, I was having a crappy day because of somebody else's actions. And so if you think about it when you're having a bad day, if it's somebody else's issue, don't let the devil, the other person, steal your happiness because I was in a good mood up until then. So that's my
yes,
little word of wisdom. That was
with the
from
words of wisdom.
yeah, that's from Teresa, my coworker. She's an awesome lady. I love her, and she made me smile. It made my whole day better. So we're gonna do a new segment called Words of Wisdom. So Dave or I will have some words of wisdom and a little story behind it. So we're gonna go from there. So yeah,
Great, thanks for dropping that on. Did we talk about that at the pre-meeting, you know.
There are no pre-meetings.
I remember raising my hand, saying, "Yeah, that sounds great. I'll be in on that." Oh, okay, all right.
Dave will have some pearls of wisdom, I'm sure. Actually, we should call it pearls of wisdom instead of words of wisdom. I like that better.
Yeah.
We're gonna rename the segment.
Oh, yeah. We should always call it 2 cents. You got one, I got one. You know, we got 2 cents.
Well, it should be words of wisdom. And the thing is we all have those days where you just need that one certain saying that somebody's going to tell you, I mean, my favorite saying used to be, "It is what it is," and I said it so much that people said they were going to put it on a T-shirt for me. So.
Well, that one is, just like awesome. I'm switching to fantastic on that. I remember my first great word of wisdom that got me on the road to listening to Proverbs and understanding them and breaking them down for the real human, look at ourselves that it is. And that is, I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy.
Dave. So anyway, we're coming to the end of this bizarro little adventure. So we're gonna thank our viewers. So I'd like to thank our viewers and our listeners. Dave's mom, my neighbor Pat. Who else?
Chrissy.
Chrissy. All right. Hi, Chrissy. We love you. And if you like what you're seeing, please tell 2 people, so they'll tell 2 people, and we'll become internet famous. Because I don't know how many viewers did we have last time?
We went from 30 down to 20. We need to get back up to like 40. That's what we need.
Well, see, we had Aaron Rodgers again, so maybe if you use Aaron Rodgers' name in the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, subscribe to us on our YouTube channel.
Juicy from Aaron again.
What was that? Yeah, use Aaron again.
Juicy from Aaron.
Yeah. So subscribe on our YouTube channel, hip.or.critical. You can do it's MOKE Milwaukee.
MOKE Milwaukee.
MOKE Milwaukee on Facebook. That's our Facebook group. And also you can tweet me. Oh, and I didn't put the underscore in when I did my thing. So there's supposed to be an underscore right here between Alexa and MKE, because we lost all of our stuff today. So I had to recreate
updates. Like the Facebook update I was forced to
they updated our software, so I had to recreate some stuff. So
I don't like change. I'm old. I'm a boomer. Don't change things.
Okay, boomer. So anyway, that's pretty much it for us. We love y'all. Let's see. Where's my... we got to do Dave. Hi, Dave. Say goodbye, Dave. Dave's bye. I'm bye. Stay safe, Milwaukee. We love you.